Welcome in to this week's episode of Untold Stories, a weekly D&D campaign set in the world of Elvoria. We are back with these wonderful humans to roll some dice, attempt some questionable accents, and hopefully tell a decent story. We have a few announcements up top, so I will pass over to Andrew, our resident announcement man.
Andrew, I don't know who that is. Hail, adventurers! It is I, Douglas Wimbledon Smythe, explorer, adventurer, and bard. And today I bring a tale passed to me from the marvellous Ramble and Rhoam, while they continue their journey to chart the realms of wonder. Imagine this, if you will. Siegfried clutches his axe in his bruised and battered hands. The air atop the mountain is thin, making his breath shallow as he gasps for air. The journey up Zenith has been his life's goal ever since he learned of this fabled place, to put his skills to the test, and to be shaped by the mountain that has been brutal to him as it has to himself. And the shadowy figure waiting atop, now for the final battle that he has come waiting for. How could this story end? Well, why not go to Kickstarter.com and back Ramble and Rhoam's Realms of Wonder by the Runic Press team and create the end of the story for yourself. With 13 unique subclasses, new spells, monsters, items, and more, Ramble and Rhoam's Realms of Wonder offers you the chance for boundless whimsical adventures to delight. So follow the link in the description and back it today. And away! Well, I don't know what that was. But hello there. We've got a podcast. That's right, the Unrolled Stories podcast is now available on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. By the time this week's episode is up, we'll be up to episode 9 on there, so go give us a listen to us clumsily stumbling around the edge of Gethin's plot while absolutely refusing to get involved until the plot comes and hits us with a big hammer. So go give us a listen and leave us a nice review, because again, we will cry if they're not nice, and I've seen Gethin do it. It's not nice.
Yeah, I am an ugly
Back to you,
crier.
I will point out, have we actually just got hit by the plot yet, or have we still managed to kind of...
I believe it wasn't a hammer, it was a giant fist.
But we ran away from the giant fist.
You ran away from the giant fist. There was the moment where you decided to set things on fire.
Yeah, but that wasn't anything to do with the plot. That was just...
That was more poor planning from Chris.
It was
that was just bad fire safety.
And then Tauri going, yeah, sure.
Hey, Tauri thought you had a plan.
Anyway. Speaking of Balrick, in this game we make use of the reimagined classes that are available on the DM's Guild as a bundle, allowing you to embody Balrick, Lesley, who unfortunately isn't here today, Aderyn, and Ximori at your own tables. And as always, all NPC art is provided by Erin Angiolini's Art Venturing Guild. The character art is done by @LiveDoodles, and the Chibi battle map art, if used, is done by WeTheDreamingDesigns. Definitely do check out those artists if you can, and support real artists, and fuck off AI. With those out the way, unless anyone else has anything, I don't believe. Oh, there is actually one thing. Stephen.
Yes.
You have inspiration.
Birthday inspiration.
With all of that out the way, I think it is time to continue telling our story. Previously, having delved into the sewers beneath the city of Gir-Dothras, you fought off some of the local rat population, and eventually found the fatberg that was blocking the pipes. Aderyn decided to blow it up, which roused the Otague and its young, leading to a very messy, stinky, and disgusting fight, which ended with Ximori beating the monster to death with its own tentacle.
On brand.
Quite on brand, yeah. In the aftermath, you harvested the monster for parts, including its big and small teeth, and Ximori kept the tentacle to use as a weapon down the line. And a couple of you trawled through the massive rubbish pile it had accumulated and formed into a nest, finding some useful objects. You then decided to leave the sewer, seeing as your job was done, and on your way out ran into a woman that some of you had met, or at least bumped into, around the city, who was being consumed by a sewer ooze. With your help, they vibrated the ooze apart, and she introduced herself as Joanna Smythe. Pleasantries exchanged, some initial questions answered. You joined her to find a smithery that used to be here, along with asking some questions that modern day people probably wouldn't be able to answer along the way. Eventually, you found a long forgotten door that was not normal or accustomed to the sewer, shall we say, and with your help, between Togrim and Tauri especially, the access panel was hacked and the door opened. Upon opening, the door triggered a trap of alchemists' fire, which then, for some reason, burst into sentience, roaring and raging, and you were told to basically run! And that is where we will pick up. We pick up in the cold dampness of the tunnel, which is swiftly forgotten as the huge raging form of green flame bellows and roars in the tunnel. Run! Joanna yells and begins bolting down the tunnel the way you came, boots splashing through the sewage water that is beginning to turn to steam. What are you all doing?
I would like to swear very loudly in Elvish. Go and grab Togrim, put him over my shoulder and sprint.
I swear in Dwarvish and follow.
I don't have long stride prepared. So... Oh... I just need to dash, I guess. Oh, did Ximori just already pick up Togrim?
Yeah.
Oh, I was going to get Derek underneath him. Derek can grab... Tell you what, Derek can grab Lesley and just have Lesley splayed over.
Alright.
Leslie's gone weirdly comatose again.
Yep. Leslie's fainted at the sight of a giant roaring flame. Cool. Aderyn, what are you up to?
Yeah, Aderyn's gonna run. She's gonna also start yelling, like, at least the heat might kill the germs. I'm pretty sure.
Right. How I'm gonna run this?
In a minute.
How I'm gonna run this is I'm gonna steal something from Daggerheart. I want all of you. This is gonna be a group skill check, essentially, which will then modify Joanna's role to attempt to do something to end this situation. So I want to know what each of you are doing to try and stay ahead of this alchemist's fire elemental.
I like that Aderyn's like, as long as we get cooked to 125 degrees Fahrenheit, we'll be fine. Medium rare.
I am going to cast Silent Image.
Okay.
Of a massive wave of water erupting from us and making it look like it's charging towards the fire.
Perfect opportunity to have a sexy...
Okay. I will say Silent Images... No, Silent Image isn't static. It's Minor Illusion that's static.
Mm-hmm.
I believe.
I know it can't move,
So it is static.
But it's 15,
it can move within
15-foot cube, so I can make it look like it starts one side of the cube and moves 15 foot.
Make me a charisma check.
Is this an ability check?
Yeah.
Cool, so I get to add plus
Anything that's one of the 6 abilities is an ability check.
anything that says check is an ability check.
Except concentration check.
Which are a save.
Yes. Still hits me.
That is a 17 because I only get
17.
like half of my
I
proficiency.
think bards get jack of all trades on like tool proficiencies as well.
Yes, correct. Yeah, you tell me how this goes down, Bryn. That's a success.
Basically, it just looks like the sewage water that we're running through suddenly kind of erupts into this massive wave that starts heading towards it.
Cool. As you all go running through this illusion, because it's not that far behind you, so you kind of have to project it in front of you to get that motion. And you all go splashing through, and it reacts to you moving through to add that semblance of realism to the thing. And you can see the creature does instinctively kind of like roll up onto the ceiling to try and take less of it, essentially, using some of its movement to get vertical. Who else wants to go?
I would like to. Oh. You go for it.
I'm going to add a clarification on silent image. I think silent image can move.
Cool.
It can move to any spot within range.
Which is within range of you, 60 feet.
Yeah.
So it moves with you.
I'm going to reach into my pocket and take out a little, like, squishy marble
Okay.
and chuck it at the ceiling behind me
Okay.
to create a 15-foot cube of water.
Make me a dex check, and I need to check something.
I almost wish Tauri had failed so the thing didn't believe that the water was real.
Dex. I have one inspiration, so I'm going to use that because that wasn't a great roll. Come on. That's very marginally better. 13.
13. You go to you pull out this thing that you've been holding on to since Nare at this point, and you go to huck it back, and it does strike cleanly against the ceiling, but in like essentially trying to throw it over your shoulder, your timing is off, and it splashes before the monster comes moving through the space. So it's just a small rain that you see it like hiss against the form, but it doesn't seem to do the effect that you were necessarily hoping for.
Any bright ideas, Togrim?
I'm try shooting it.
Sort of like over my shoulder.
What you're trying to do here is find a way to increase your own speeds, delay it, diversions, that kind of thing. Anything you can think of, we'll figure out the skill check. If you haven't figured it out yet, we can move on to something else.
I would like to use either perception, survival, or investigation to try and find shortcuts and like at like small, not too small, but like side passages to kind of
make a perception check.
Perception.
Yeah, perception.
Balrick would like to do a possession.
Not amazing. 13.
13. You find some kind of avenues to dive down. This thing's fairly large, and so you hope like narrower tunnels, maybe it'll be too confined and not be able to avoid the water. And you dive down, but you notice it too late, and only a couple of you are able to dive down. Choose 2 people.
Oh god. If I choose Derek, is Lesley included?
Derek automatically follows you. So
Okay, so
you would get Lesley, so you could choose one other.
You get a free Lesley.
I think. Well, Ximori and he's got Togrim. I can't pick them.
So it's Tauri or Aderyn or Joanna.
I think Tauri. A chance to talk to Joanna. I'm going to see who's closest. It's not going to be Tauri, because I think Tauri and Ximori are right near each other in my head.
Okay.
They're running simultaneously.
Yep.
Sarah, odds are even. This is when you get rescued. Right? Odds are even, Sarah.
Odds.
Odds. 5. I grab Aderyn.
So yeah, you just quickly see a side passage that's like fairly like heavy water flow coming from a leaked pipe atop, and you just grab her through and like dive through a waterfall of water that you hope will dissuade the creature. And you divert off, and the thing keeps barreling down the tunnel. You keep running, and this thing begins to curve back around until you're on a parallel sewer, slightly behind everyone else. As you can see the thing chasing after them. So
We can see them.
Yeah, so like it's almost like a Scooby-Doo kind of situation where there's like a tunnel there and a tunnel here, and you're down one, and everyone else is running down the other, and you occasionally catch glimpses of them as you keep running.
Yeah, through like joining.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd like to go through a series of different tunnels. Then at one point, I'm chasing the creature. We all like gather up in a sewer, and then it's there behind us, like, yay!
We are currently on 2 failures, 1 success. Togrim and Aderyn, what are you doing?
Oh, I need to. I need a pen and paper.
Aderyn's gonna cast infestation at the elemental, so like she's gonna like have some flies.
Roll me a charisma check at disadvantage. I'm not sure this is that helpful.
Yes, I'm throwing bugs at fire.
Sorry, I need to grab a book so I can write Scooby-Doo puns.
Maybe a charisma check. Charisma check
Charisma.
at disadvantage because it's your spellcasting.
Okay. Charisma. At disadvantage. Okay. Oh. I roll the same thing, so and that's 21.
Amazingly! You tell me how this works. 'Cause...
Okay, so as Aderyn gets pulled away by Balrick, she's like, well, Ximori's water isn't doing anything, so we need something that's kind of like water, and like, whenever Aderyn is near rivers, or like lakes, or like puddles, you know what else there's around? Bugs.
Balrick is dragging Aderyn
'Cause
along with the hand
bugs
and going,
are bugs.
yeah, whatever.
Bugs are always around water. So fire probably doesn't like bugs because bugs are always hanging out with the water. So, bugs. And she throws bugs.
So, as you're running down this parallel sewer, you just throw a swarm of bugs that the thing collides with at full speed, incinerating the bugs in an instant. But it does somehow have like...
You know that thing where you walk into a spider web and you're not expecting it?
Yeah, essentially. It ensures that every insect is destroyed before moving on, and it does fall back slightly from Togrim, Tauri, Ximori, and Joanna as you guys feel the heat slightly lessen behind you, but it is still a lot of green coloration to the lighting down here right now. Togrim, what are you doing? It is currently 2-all.
There's so much methane in these
Who's the
tunnels.
slowest in our group?
You.
Well, no, I'm being carried. Okay, so who's the slowest moving?
I think the rest of us are all tied.
Yeah, well,
You all
Togrim's not
type
slowed,
13?
so it's Joanna and Tauri. Both are 30 feet.
In this tunnel that we're in, it's Joanna and Tauri.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I reach over and touch one of them and cast Longstrider?
Can do. Which one do you choose?
That's 10 for Tauri.
Tauri. Give me an intelligence check with advantage.
This makes Tauri only 5 feet slower than me.
Natural 20.
Natural 20. That we will count as 2 successes. So Tauri, you're finding, having done the illusion, you find yourself dropping back in the group slightly, and you're probably the closest to it. Togrim checks their stride slightly and reaches back to grab you on the forearm, and you suddenly feel your boots being slowed down by the water lessens, and you suddenly have a burst of additional speed as you manage to pull up level with Joanna and leave the flailing heap behind. At that point, you come to an intersection. Joanna dives left. Essentially, you both instinctively just follow her and dive to the left. It immediately hits a... oh no, it would be to the right. Sorry, you went left. To the right. Pulls to the right. You come in, and you immediately come to a grated dead end, some 10 feet away. Joanna just turns to you both. Do you trust me?
Sure.
Goes into her robes, pulls a small bead out about this big. We're saving this for a rainy day. Turns out it's for a hot one. And just throws it as the beast comes around the corner, and she needs to make a dexterity check with +2 from all of you. Just. She rolled a 15 on a DC 14 check. And this small bead, and you two who dived around the corner with Derek, see this happen behind. You can see that your friends are essentially cornered by this giant flaming elemental that descends on them, and then suddenly there's a thing that seems to like strike it, and then there's a boom as a huge sphere of force of magical energy contains the creature, and there is suddenly roiling flame contained in a clear sphere just sitting in the center of the tunnel. And Joanne just turns to you. That should keep it occupied for a minute or so. Now to think.
Think quickly.
I'm open to ideas.
I am going to where like the intersection. Is it like a T-junction or is it like a?
So you came here, you went right, which was a dead end, and then it goes down to the other parallel tunnel that the other ones were running down.
Okay, so it's like a sort of T-junction.
Yeah.
Right. I am going to shout for Aderyn and Balrick to come up this way. Because like either... Okay, I just basically need to quickly assess. Are we going back where it came from, or are we getting out of here? We got 2 exits.
Sorry, just reading something.
Nice.
Considering what we just had to go through, I'd like to see what it was protecting.
I just want to be clear, not necessarily time to discuss plans. We have a minute before this thing breaks.
I very quickly want to... Like, which direction are we going quickly?
Well, I need to go get my compass back, if nothing else. That's part of
Okay, sweet. You two, this way. And once they get over here, I'm basically going to drop kick this sphere and push it down the tunnel as far as I can.
Okay, make me a strength check.
Look, the further away it gets, the further it has to get to us.
Make a strength check.
Natural 20.
Natural 20. As you go to do
23.
this, Joanna just shouts, "Bear in mind that's a flame elemental in a methane-filled sewer. We lose sight of that, it's a bigger problem than right now."
I am mid-drop kick.
Says it really fast.
Let's go.
Okay, I'm twisted mid-air, so I just sort of back into it.
That's about 30 seconds. She turns to look at the creature. It's fascinating. It has this form of sentience. It is constructed of alchemist's fire and implies
30
You can
seconds.
look later.
I'm trying to come up with a plan to get rid of it, unless any of you have ideas. We can't just leave it wander around, otherwise it's a bigger problem for others.
Okay. Let's think.
What stops alchemist fire? I don't know this stuff.
It's not like just water will deal with it and cold, will it?
Cold will certainly help. She just rolled a nat 20 on intelligence check.
I'm gonna go to Derek and be like, I need you right now, and change Derek to.
She very quickly turns to you, Ximori. You look like the toughest one here. How do you feel about being bait?
Yeah, why not? I
Right.
put Togrim down.
The rest of you scatter and make it back to the intersection where we met. Ximori, I believe it was. You tempt it there, chasing you. The rest of us will get there as fast as we can.
Okay.
At this point, now punt it. It will at least be further away. We'll then carry your 20 through on that, and it goes barreling down the tunnel. She starts sprinting off back to the place where you met.
Are we all going
Tried.
after him?
I think we're all just.
So
sort of
I'm
going that way,
basically delaying it.
Yeah, can you
Yeah,
clarify what she said? Like,
She said, go meet back at the intersection where you met. She seems to have had an idea, especially with you responding, seemingly mentioning something about Derek. Like, it seemed like you had a way to do cold, and she timed that up with something else that she'd noticed, and told you to go meet back there.
as we run, I do put my hand on Derek, and he gets like that silvery white sheen.
And I'm basically delaying it.
Yeah, you're basically going there. Hey, over here.
Make sure
Right.
you're not too far behind us, alright, Ximori?
Yep.
Right, I need everyone here to roll survival checks. So Mori, I want you to roll intimidation.
I think because this is a thing made of fire, which I very much hate,
Mm-hmm.
I've got to deal with it on my own, which I'm not particularly happy with. I think black scales start to move as I go into a rage. So you guys don't get to see this, but my eyes turn black, and just like
Survival checks.
18.
10.
10,
I used my inspiration to get 22.
22. Tauri,
15.
15. Aderyn, you get slightly lost and are slightly delayed.
I've got my hand on her wrist.
What did you roll?
18.
Yeah, fair enough.
I've had my hand on her wrist this whole time.
Yeah, that's fair. You're just dragging Aderyn with you. Aderyn goes to scatter, as you were told, and you're just like, nope, you're gonna get lost. Just like, come with me. As you all make your way through the tunnels at full speed, at barely 10 seconds after they leave Ximori, you suddenly see that glow get much brighter as this thing is seemingly angry and begins barreling up the tunnel. And I would like you to make me a Constitution save as you see something. I'm going to give you advantage on this because you are prepared for this. As you see like this
do you not
color
want the
growing.
intimidation check?
I'll get to your intimidation check in a second.
Okay.
As rapidly coming out is a ball of contained alchemist fire that seems to have been hurled by this creature at your direction. So give me a con save.
On save.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, no. 25.
25. You're only going to take half damage. You take 5
And
points
I am
of fire
resistant
damage.
to fire.
So
But I am
that's
resistant to fire in this form.
2 points of fire damage and 4 points of poison damage.
Ooh.
As the noxious fumes of this fire do come into your nostrils briefly, and then the thing starts barreling down the tunnel and comes into your vision. And give me your intimidation check.
The intimidation check was a 23.
This thing sees you, this demonic form that is of a challenge that this thing believes it can take, and it barrels after you. What are you doing?
I've brought up my arms to block the fire, and they are just scaled all the way down with flecks of obsidian. I just move them down, the eyes completely black,
Are you staying there, or are you going to try and bleed?
I'm gonna stay there for a bit, yeah.
Okay, you're going to take some punishment? Cool.
I don't think I have much of a... Oh no, I have to make a wisdom save.
Okay.
That is... Sorry, it's been a while since I used this form. Let's beat a... Yep, I'm fine. I'm taking some damage.
It's entirely up to you whether you want to try and lead it through the tunnels where it could be a distraction, or just stand here and fight. It's up to you.
I think I'm just standing here and fighting.
Cool. If you want to deal damage to it, feel free to make an attack. It's also going to roll 2 attacks against you.
With my beastie claws.
One of them misses.
Yeah,
one of them is a
reckless.
crit.
Yeah, I'm going to be reckless in this form either way. So that is a 16 and a 21.
Both hit.
Right, so... Ooh. Not great. Plus 5. So 10 points of slashing, and... That's better. And 12 points of slashing.
So 22 halved to 11. As this thing being made of
Meanwhile,
fire
I'm
seems
taking...
pervious to kind of non-magical attacks. You take 22 points of bludgeoning damage, halved to 11. 8 points of fire damage, halved to 4. And I need you to make a Constitution save. And are you You're not wearing armor, correct?
No.
Then you're fine.
Right, so 11 and 4, total of 15. Mathsing. 38.
While this...
con save.
Yeah, con save quickly. It's DC 14.
That is 15. Just
Fine.
made it.
You're not poisoned. The rest of you, in a kind of cutscene, you all rejoin up at the crossroads where you met Joanna in the first place. Joanna's there. Quickly looks around and is assessing the ceiling. At this point, you all look up. There are a number of those brass and copper pipes all ahead, and she just looks up, and there is actually a very large essentially containment unit right above that seems to store a large body of water that can be opened for a sudden blast if there is a blockage downstream. She looks up and goes, "This is what I remembered. Good place for us to have met first time. What we need to do is we need to open up every single one of these in the moment that this thing comes through. I don't have a lot for breaking open metal devices. I've got a couple of things, I think, so if anything you guys have got would be helpful right now. And then if we can combine it with whatever you were going to do for cold to make it even colder water, then we might be onto a winner."
Yeah, alright.
She goes into her pocket and pulls out two kind of small metal discs with inset kind of orange gems. Just hands one out, keeps one for herself. Small explosion, but try to keep it away from yourselves. Anyone?
Take it.
And she walks over to one of the large pipes and places her one on it, and you hear it you hear a slight fusion sound where it sets onto the metal, and the orange gem just starts to pulse. What are the rest of you doing?
Down as well.
There are a number of pipes, and there is the large container up ahead. It is up to you what you all try to do.
Can I use Mage Hand to place it?
Yeah.
I'm gonna do that.
I was going to ask, are there any valves or anything we can see?
Yeah, loads.
Cool. Then I'm just going to go and start turning valves.
Okay, so you're trying to you're trying to flood the situation now rather than waiting to deliver a trap.
I'm trying to build the pressure, so I'm going to ignore any that right at the end.
Roll me an intelligence check.
Release it. Intelligence, yeah? That's 16.
16, cool. Yeah, you start moving things, and you can feel a surge of water, and where you actually sense it going is into the large cistern up the top. Okay.
Cool. Then I just do as many of those as possible.
Cool. Yeah. Anyone else?
I'm gonna hold a fireball to try and hit one of the pipes when it comes time to release the trap.
Cool. Yeah.
Fireball.
Bolt.
Bolt.
Oh my god.
Bolt.
I was like,
Yes.
whoa, what?
Wait, Balrick, what are you up to?
I think I just need to prepare to do, am I just going to hit the water with ice?
Well, that's what Derek can do. What do you want to do?
Derek can. I have, it's an infused strike.
Okay.
Derek's not strong enough yet to breathe fire, or breathe it, but he can, infuse other people's weapons.
As you're all doing this, she kind of turns to you all and go, the big whammy is going to be whether we can release that. And you can see, the submarine hatches kind of thing? It's like that, but it's got, an absolutely monster lock on it. That, full-on, piston lock. You're not going to, pick that necessarily. So she's looking around and is like, if we can find a way to either force that open between us or something like that, that'll be probably the winner here. So, any of you strong? Mentally?
I can do.
I mean, I can exert some magical influence on pulling things. I don't know whether the rest of you can.
don't know how strong my little ghost hand is.
It'll help, I'm certain.
You got nothing left in the tank, Aderyn?
A lot of my magic is
Instinctive.
very much. Oh no! You know?
Well, we're in a no-no situation. You direct that to be, oh no, I need to open this.
Did we send Lesley out? No, Lesley's with us. So
Lesley is with you.
Lesley will just help out Balrick in trying to do physical stuff.
I could try. I mean, I'm not very good at commanding it myself, but...
Whatever you're going to do, we want to open that valve the moment the beast comes through here, so... If it doesn't work, we'll figure out a solution, but hold on to it.
Aderyn's going to start panicking, so she's going to...
Hold on, Bryn.
You go ahead.
No, go on, Aderyn.
Aderyn's going to hold a chaos bolt.
Okay.
Can we have Dirk just flavour it that he can colden the water?
Yes.
So that I can open the valve, yeah. He's not attacking, like, he's not got a cold breath, he just...
No, he just sits in the stream, like the water goes on him and then floods out, and his just natural body temperature cools the water.
So Dirk situates himself like a crocodile, like hunkered down in the water underneath the sluice gate.
He's not quite got dragon breath yet, but he does have, like, the wisps. It's like...
Yeah, you can see, like, the mist building on top of it.
The water underneath him is starting to freeze.
Yeah, it's like going slightly cloudy. What were you going to do, Tauri?
I was just going to just kind of tap Balrick on the shoulder and go, just be a giant.
Motivation.
And give him inspiration.
Ximori, what are you doing?
A little bit.
I got a reaction attack in my Draugshi form, which I rolled a 16 to hit.
Hits.
Another 14 points of slashing.
Yep.
I need to make a wisdom save. Success.
What do you want
I'm
to do?
still allowed to act if I want. I am going to...
You've probably delayed like 3 rounds at this point, having kicked it away, absorbed the first thing, and done a round. So it's up to you.
I mean, probably just kind of... How far away did I think everybody else went?
It's a cut. It's not a long distance to have got back there.
How far do I need to leave the trap?
I mean, honestly, with your speed, probably another round, and you're like, then they'll probably be ready, whatever they were doing.
Okay. Yep, I'm just gonna...
Okay.
Like, how deep is the water in like this bit?
Up to your shins if you're standing in the center.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just basically from like with my hands just sort of like scoop water and fling it upwards.
Go for it.
As a distraction before I come back down with like both hands. Just...
Yeah, go for it. Make your attacks. I'm also making attacks against you at the same time. Only 1 hits again.
I did go reckless, so you get advantage.
Oh, okay, cool. Both hit.
And that's a 15 and a 16 for me.
Both hit.
It's 11 and 11 and 15, so 26 points of slashing damage.
13. And you take 22 and 8, both get halved to 11 and 4, 15 total. And
15
I need 2 con saves from you.
Yeah. Con save number 1, natural 20. Con save number 2 is 16.
Succeeds. At that point...
And as my reaction, I take another attack on it.
Go for it.
Reckless, which is 13.
Misses. As you like spring up from the water at that point, it shifts out the way. You've been tearing apart and just hitting flame. It's been cascading up your arms. You've been reveling in it. The voice in your head is like, "Kill it, consume." At that point, though, you have enough in your head that clock's ticking. Now's time to run. You start leading it through the tunnels. The rest of you begin to hear the inferno coming. And Joanna turns to you, "Now or never. To your stations, people." And she like heads over to one of the valves that Tauri has been working on and everything. So there's a number of like built up pressure valves, and just begins to get ready and like begins to concentrate on the big sluice gate in the ceiling. I need everyone who is... So, the valve releases... if you're releasing a valve, standard valve, I need you to make a strength check. And I need to know who is doing what to try and release the big one.
I think Lesley is helping me try and shift it. Like, is it just another, like, big turny thing, or is there more to it than that?
Yeah, there is a really big turny element, but the fact of the matter is that it's, like, up in the air. Like, you don't have much purchase to kind of turn it is the issue.
Like, no, actually, I'm quite a short Goliath. I'm like 7 and a bit.
Aderyn does holding the chaos bolt to the big bolt thing for when the thing's inside.
Cool.
Just trying that, yeah.
Okay, give me a strength check, flat, Balrick. You have disadvantage due to the height, advantage from Lesley helping you. So that's just flat. You have inspiration from Tauri.
I imagine helping it is so I can't reach it properly, so I've got Lesley picked up, Lesley's gripping on it tight, and I'm just trying to push Lesley
Yeah.
around. It's like, ooh! I'm using Lesley as
Lesley as a spanner.
Yeah, I'm using Lesley as a spanner.
What a
I mean, he is an absolute spanner, let's be honest.
Strength check.
This is less about Balrick's strength and more about Leslie's core strength to stay out.
Tauri, what do you do?
Like that. I do have a point of inspiration, so I'm going to use that.
But I'm going to try and do one of these.
And that's a nat 20.
Fuck yeah!
Fantastic spanner.
You feel it suddenly, as your combined strength like suddenly takes it, and now you two are essentially underneath this thing, holding it perfectly in place. Like, you two are a support strut holding this thing from completely opening right now. Like, you've got it like on a slight edge, so you can release this at any moment that you want, and with that nat 20, get out of the way really quickly.
With that, can we tell Aderyn to redirect her kit? Like,
Yes.
I don't know what Aderyn's case bolt's going to... Yeah.
Well, I don't know what it's gonna do.
Aderyn, I can see you holding that energy. No, I've got Lesley. Aim it where the thing's coming from instead, okay? Yeah, just point it downwards.
Joanna turns to you. Well, that makes it easier for me. And you see another valve that was about 10 feet from her begin to turn as well as she exerts some sort of telekinetic force or mage hand over on that and is turning one herself. Nat 20 from her and a 16, so both of hers begin moving. Togrim and Tauri, what did you roll?
I was going to shoot one of the pipes.
Okay, make a
that's
spellcasting attack roll then to see whether you
Or
can damage it.
is it just a strength check?
Yes.
Yeah. So it is just a 16 with nothing to be added.
That's a success.
15.
You guys are succeeding on this track. This track is perfectly built at this point. As you can see the green colour barreling down the tunnel and Ximori leading it in. Ximori.
I am pretty much like on all fours sprinting at this point, like the bestial, like still me, but like my movements are definitely more like bestial and wrong.
Just running through your head. As you come barreling through, you can see the stacked tower of Lesley and Balrick in the center. You can see everyone. You immediately take in everyone else arranged, and you feel the green heat begin to cascade behind you as it grows closer and closer. The rest of you suddenly all release a bunch of pipes, and huge gouts of water from the pressure that Tauri had built up just strike the center of this crossroads at full velocity. A instant mist from Derek as Derek rises up, begins to form. Aderyn, as the green flame cascades into the center, release your Chaos Bolt.
I was gonna say I'm just gonna basically like from here just spring up to the ceiling, and with my horrible demon claws just like
yes,
like attach myself to the ceiling.
Roll to hit them.
Yeah. I rolled dirty 20.
That hits. Roll me the whatever this chaos damage is going to be.
Yeah. 38 plus 1d6. So I'm going to do a d6.
What level is this coming out at?
That's a 2 from the d6.
Nice chest, Chris.
And then it's an 8 and a 6. I'm going to choose the 8 because it's thunder.
Oh, good.
Okay.
The 6 was poison.
Yeah, good idea.
Yeah, I think you're right on that. So there is a sudden burst of thunder that cracks a number of other pipes that none of you had got to, and just more gouts of sewage water come barreling in, hitting this creature. At which point, Balrick and Lesley, it's up to you.
And then dive out of the way.
The momentum, the pressure that's built up, and the swinging door just almost like carries you out of the way as this thing bursts through and is hit from 10 different sides with bursts and waterfalls of cold, frigid water as Derek just revels underneath. As this goes over the top of Derek, and you just see it writhe in pain as this gallons and gallons of water just the entire room fills with steam. You are all functionally blind, sweating out of your ass. It is the world's most disgusting sauna. The green light fades and darkness once again sets into the sewers as the steam begins to descend.
Oh, that was intense. Ximori, how are you doing? That was a brave thing.
See? Not great. Run, basically.
What does Ximori do? Is Ximori seeing?
I'm like attached onto the ceiling currently.
No,
I think like once everything settles, I sort of like drop to the ground, looking back at where the fire was. I'm a distance away, right, Gethin?
Yeah. You're not immediately close to anyone.
Okay, good. But I have to move towards the nearest creature. The nearest non-player creature, so I think my eyes snap at Joanna.
Yeah.
Do we
And just-
do we insight to see this?
Yeah, roll me an insight check. What's your...
Yeah, like,
Well,
my hands are like black claws currently. There are like obsidian scales going up my arms. My eyes are entirely black.
Okay, do I need to insight?
I don't think so. You're perceptive enough.
And I think full dash to get to Joanna, which takes me 90 feet.
Okay.
So I can get there, but I can't do anything. But just like...
Oh,
Can we get in the way?
What do you do?
do something.
Aderyn's going to do something. I mean, Balrick's going to jump in the way to try and get in between him and Joanna.
Go for
Balrick keeps putting himself in the way of Ximori's friendly fire.
Yeah, you can definitely like essentially like shift Joanna out of the way and just like go out in front.
And then Aderyn.
What's good?
Does Ximori count as a humanoid right now?
Yes.
Okay. She's gonna just be like,
No.
no, stop! And she's gonna like try to cast calm emotions. Like, so she's gonna run over and kind of like go, no!
For a moment, think it was whole person.
Yeah, same. So is that a wisdom save?
It is
Charisma, I think.
a charisma save.
Charisma save. What's the DC 13?
DC
14.
14.
Am I at disadvantage for any of this talk, Gethin, or are I just straight?
I could have done
No reason to be at disadvantage.
Well, that's a 15 with my +1 in charisma.
Tauri?
Aderyn's position. Or cutting words.
Yeah, I've got certain words available. So I know I don't,
You out of Bardic?
because I am out of bardic inspirations. I gave my last one.
I do have intuition.
I still have said Bardic. Can I give it up?
I think that's
No, yeah,
I think that's cool. You are putting yourself in between.
Yeah,
Cool.
and like, can I use said Bardic to use the cutting word by punching Ximori in the face?
Yeah.
That seems fair. I like
Like a
it.
rolled up newspaper on the snout.
Yeah. No.
You need a 2 or higher.
Aderyn, so I slapped Ximori. What does calm motions look like?
I think it just creates like a bubble of. It creates a ring of incense smoke around like the area. Under it's like a meditation bubble.
I think that was a 3 that Tauri rolled on the cutting word. So I think just as I'm like in the air.
Actually,
like,
it's a
so black.
5 because I rolled a d4.
Oh, there we go then.
And it goes
So-
into the brain.
I think
It's-
just like the black just immediately like leaves my body. My eyes turn back to normal. I just sort of body slam Balrick like. I just hold on, hugging him.
Joanna's head just kind of pops round. We okay?
Yeah, we've gotten used to this. It's fine. Don't need to concern yourself. We've got a handle. And I'll give Aderyn I've got Ximori in my arms, and I'm going to give Aderyn a little.
Shall we go and explore this place then?
Yeah, Ximori, how does that feel? Do you want to do some exploring?
Just clinging on, just silent currently, just like...
Yeah, let's go. And pat Ximori on the back.
Well, I must say you're quite impressive. I appreciate
I am
your help.
heavily burned.
I'm afraid I don't have anything for that.
I think just as Balrick is carrying me down, my eyes briefly flick to Aderyn, and in your head you'll just hear, "Thank you."
Are you okay? She's gonna say mentally.
I was still in the pit.
That's not good. Do you think you can hold it in for now?
Yeah, I'm tired.
Okay. We'll sort it out once we leave this disgusting place.
Speaking of leaving, I appreciate your help. And some of you look like you're a little tired. Would you prefer to go back up top? You don't have to follow me. I am functionally a stranger to you.
Oh no, I'm following. I am very curious.
Well,
We don't split up.
But can we not just do this away from all the poop water? No?
well, we'll see what's in the smithery, I guess. Look, I'm more than happy to have the company. And you lot are an interesting bunch, and I do prefer the more interesting people.
You can survive a little bit more longer, can't you, Aderyn?
Can I?
Besides, you've made it smell quite nice in here.
Okay.
Well, at least the sink's gone.
Okay. But I am the first one to have a bath when we return. I call dibs.
Sure. She starts leading you back through a number of singed tunnels now at this point, where there had been moss and lichen growing. It's now bare, slightly blackened stone. And you come back eventually to that door, which is still half jammed open, and hanging from the panel is the gold disc sitting there suspended by a small gold wire. She heads up and says, "Oh, look at my compass." And she disconnects it, and you can see it's somewhat slightly wax melted. The gold wire that had been attached to it is snapped and still attached to the panel rather than to the compass. It's gonna take more to repair. Well, hey,
I'm just gonna gradually let myself down from Balrick.
Yeah, Balrick was carrying Ximori along. And just went, oh!
well, if you're willing to come with, through the door, I guess. She steps up. The door's slightly up from the level of the sewer, so it's kind of out of the water as well. She steps in through, and you see the ropes just kind of enter in. And she calls back from inside. No traps yet.
Works for me. I'm curious.
Yep,
I try and push the door open a little bit further so it's a bit less of a squeeze.
Mm-hmm. Make me You're fairly strong. You managed to nudge it a bit further, but it seems to come up against something that's broken in the mechanism. So at least like the chunkiness of you and Deck can now fit through without having to squeeze.
This door's weird. Doesn't just open.
You head inside and come into a space quite unlike anything any of you have been in. Maybe Togrim the closest in the clockworks. The walls, the floor, the ceiling are made of panelled metal. In places it appears kind of warped or buckled, showing some kind of damage. What you assume was once a straight and level corridor is like twisted in places and caved in. This whole place is damaged from some previous event and showing, interestingly, not really any signs of age. Nothing here is rusted or decayed or covered in plant life or anything that matter. It's like it was frozen in time, but in a damaged state. Aderyn, Balrick, and Tauri, you can make out there is faint noises shifting and echoing up the corridor as you begin to head further in. How we are going to run this is like how we run travel. So, I would like someone to please roll me a d6.
Who's leading the charge?
Feels like a Togrim or Tauri.
Yeah, I'm kind of just
Area of
following.
interest.
Yeah,
Well,
Balrick is
But a
locked.
D6,
A
right?
d6, please.
Put it on them.
1.
And can you roll me a d4?
4.
This feels like the worst scenario possible.
Yeah.
4 Balors turn up.
You are
Or
walking
more
through-
flame elementals.
You start walking down corridors. Joanna is still holding out her compass, hoping, like, as a sort of divining rod previously, but every so often has to, like, smack it, and it's just, you know. Well, even I'm a little bit blind in here, so I'm trying to do this from memory. She starts taking left and right corners, trying to keep her footsteps light on the metal corridors. Eventually, you come to a T-junction with kind of labels on the top. She goes to turn to the right-hand side. She's like, I don't think we want to go that way. And she tries to go to the right-hand door, which has got a handle on it, and like pushes it down and just. Well, that's locked. Or jammed, or worse. So, that way.
I mean, we have our own sort of lock-picking mechanism, I think. And Balrick gestures to Ximori.
You are welcome to try.
Master lockpicker here.
Make me a strength check.
Can I help? Can I put a hand there and try and also...
Yeah, sure.
Ximori has the strength, but I have the carrying capacity.
15.
15. You
I
go.
also have the carrying capacity.
I know, but I mean, that I can join in. I can be a strong person. We're the strong. We are the strongs.
We are
go
strong.
to
Strong
push
conk.
the door, and immediately it's not that it's budging, caught on a latch or a lock, anything like that. It is part of the wall. Like, you feel like you are pushing the entire wall. Exactly what happened, you don't know, but that door will not open for God nor money. Well, honest attempt. Left?
I don't know if that is a door. It feels like a wall.
Well, it has a handle. And it definitely used to be a door.
I don't think it's one anymore.
No. So she turns left, and this door does actually open. You come into a room with a number of tall, 10-foot tall vats that reach up to just below the ceiling. made of thick, solid metal, and each one appears to be etched with a number of quite large runes or glyphs. They're stood in neatly ordered rows throughout the room, like trees of iron that are reaching up to the ceiling. There are a handful of other doors that lead out of this room, and long pipes winding along the ceiling towards each pipe, and a number of valve points connecting to them, making a maze of ducts and tubes.
Don't think I've ever been in here.
But I suppose if we move forward and try to go back right, maybe? Open to suggestions?
Have any of us been taking notes of where we've been? Because I certainly haven't.
I'm sure Balrick has a fairly innate sense of direction, but at the same time we're underground and not in home territory.
I'm not entirely comfortable with the closed space, so I'm sort of focusing on that right now.
Well, if there's no other ideas... she starts heading further into the room. Do you join her?
Yep.
Cool. As you kind of move through, slightly spread out amongst the containers, one to the left of you, Balrick, and one slightly to the right and back of you, Ximori, as you're passing through, suddenly there's a loud bang! And the container seems to, like, shake from an impact. Bang!
Is it like a sort of barrel thing? Does it have like an obvious door?
All you can see are like almost like valve pipes, like you would open and a liquid will come sloshing out. And like they're supported on struts, so there's like a curved bottom to this container. And it's like held in a cradle.
Okay,
There's
is it like
runes
open at the top?
There are runes on each of them, yeah.
Can I read them at all?
Make me an Arcana check. Ximori?
Are they like open on the top?
They don't appear to be. They appear to have another kind of a domed thing that many of which are connected to pipes that disappear into the ceiling.
17.
17. You look at them, they appear to be abjuration and transmutation in nature. Boom! Suddenly, the pipe behind you, Ximori, that you were looking at closer, suddenly cracks. There is a sudden glow of orange light, and the pipe bursts off, and coming out is a gout of molten metal that suddenly rises up into a kind of twisting coil of liquid iron. The one next to you, Balrick, there is a and you suddenly see a section of the metal container begin to heat up and heat up and heat up. And I need everyone here to roll initiative.
I am no longer having a good day.
Togrim, you are the first to react. What do you want to do?
I'm going to scream, "Oh, fuck!" Back up to the door we came through and fire my crossbow. That's one of them.
Go for it. There's only one currently out.
For a nat 1 to hit.
One. You are panicking. Clang! It echoes off one of the large containers. There is a lot of cover in this room, and you're going to be dealing with that. That ends Togrim's turn. Aderyn, you're up.
Aderyn's so out of juice.
After Aderyn, it's Tauri.
I'm gonna throw some bugs at it.
Okay. Go for it. Is that a con save?
Aderyn the germaphobe. Summoning bugs.
Well, yeah, if I don't like bugs, surely they're fired.
That is a
Just
13.
launching the bugs off you.
It's a con save.
13.
Here's all the bugs I'm afraid of.
Fails.
Fails. So it takes 1d6 poison.
Okay, I'm going to save you time from rolling. As the insects go towards these things, they incinerate on contact and deal no damage.
That is completely fair.
They are immune to poison, I'm afraid.
It also
Go on.
moves 5 feet in a random direction.
I'll say that happens, though. That still happens as the thing, like flails backwards as these insects hit it, giving Ximori a bit of distance.
Okay. It goes in the direction to south.
Yes, give Ximori some distance. Tauri, you're up.
Vicious Mockery at the one closest to us.
Well, I'd say only one of them is currently out. The other one, there's just a glowing sphere on the other one.
Cool. The one that is out, saying, that is...
Natural 3.
fucking-
4,
No.
3.
It takes 2.
Points of psychic damage.
Easy.
Somehow this thing reacts to that, as it appears to have a semblance of sentience.
That is fuck.
That is a what?
That is a
It's
fuck.
like a blob of metal.
Yes.
And just because
only Dad Rock.
and because it might matter, it has disadvantage on its next attack.
You can have inspiration, Chris.
Not heavy enough.
Speaking of which, it is its turn now, so it is going to. Say 3 people have different attacked it. It's going to respond to them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Chases after Togrim.
That has to go past me, right?
It does.
Is there a table nearby?
There are no tables in this room. There are metal struts that you could possibly try to rip off.
That'll do.
Yep. You say attack opportunity, yeah?
Anything but the actual weapons and Orioles.
Go for it.
I try and hit it with a steel chair.
Anything but
for-
the actual weapons.
23.
23 hits.
D4 for an improvised weapon, I guess.
Yep.
Not raging. 6 points of bludgeoning damage.
Halved to 3, as this thing is molten metal. Yeah, it completely ignores that happening to him, descends on you, Togrim, with a speed faster than you were expecting, and then just goes to swipe, and you just instinctively duck. And you're already short height, and ducking thing, it completely over the top of you. Then that ball of glowing light on that molten thing begins to drip, and suddenly there is another gout as one appears right next to you, Balrick, and takes a swing at you.
I think I was acknowledging that was going to be the one that goes.
Total of 8. It misses you as well. It's still kind of coming out and doesn't have a full concept of the terrain.
I can see it.
Yeah, you just see that coming and block it out of the way. Speaking of which, it is not Ximori's turn. Sorry.
Right. Anything else in this room? Like random vials of stuff?
Roll me a perception check.
That's about level 11.
11. You spot on the side, on the walls, there are a number of hangers with seemingly protective gear on, thick overalls, gloves, heavy visors, kind of thing.
Okay. Can I grab one of those, wrap it around my hand, and punch one in the face?
Yeah. Go for it. I'll say that takes your bonus action to grab it and wrap it around.
17.
That does hit.
5 points of bludgeoning damage.
Cool.
Oh wait, no, sorry, that's a 3. 7 points of bludgeoning damage.
This seems to be it's asbestos. It's flame retardant anyway, and it seems to connect fully. Unfortunately, with it only being wrapped around your hand and your arm essentially passing into this thing, you do take 7 points of fire damage as it heats up on your arm. Anything else?
That's my action and bonus action, so I'm done.
You're up. Joanna on deck.
Okay, I'm gonna do my hunter's quarry. One of my hunter's quarries.
Go for it.
And the one next to me. No, I'm not. Then I can't command deck. Lies. I am lying to you, I'm afraid.
If you do this.
I know.
You're the worst.
Such a liar.
Oh no, I don't want deck. I'm gonna tell deck to step back actually. Because I see Ximori get burned.
Okay.
I'm gonna Hunter's Quarry, the one next to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna draw my machete, not my nice sword, and slash it. And I'm gonna tell Derek to just focus on me, and Derek's gonna give me the cold bonus.
Nice, go for it.
Presume I hit.
They have an AC of 13.
11 plus.
Yeah, AC of 13.
So that is 2 short swords d6, so 2d6 and another d6.
Go for it.
Cool. Do you want them separate?
Yes, please. The cold and the non-magical slashing will be different.
Okay. 3, 4 plus 5. 9 slashing.
Yep.
And then a 5 cold.
You see the cold begins to like crack and harden its exterior. You feel like it might be slightly harder to hit next time, but it also appeared to diminish its anger and fury.
Not harder to hit, but like more armory.
Essentially, its AC went up by 1, but it was vulnerable to the damage.
I imagine it's not like I'm going to miss it more, it's more of a like,
Yeah.
it's going to clang.
Clang. Yeah, exactly. It is now Joanna's turn. She spots you doing that and goes, well, that's helpful, even without this. And you see her conjure up, frost begins to cover her hand. And she just, like, throws a bolt of ice towards the creature that you are fighting, Balrick. That one. As she goes to aim it and the thing shifts and she suddenly has to, like, angle it away and it just ices form up against the canister that it came out of, resealing the canister after it had melted through it. Which means the thing is no longer connected to the vast source of metal behind it, but she completely misses. Lesley's turn. Lesley's going to run up to help you, drawing both their scimitars. One of those will hit and deal a terrible amount of damage. And Lesley's like, that's getting hot. His weapon begins to heat up. Back to the top. Togrim, you're up.
Get a bit more northern on that, Gethin.
No. That's how Chris can do Lesley from now on.
Where is the one that attacked me?
Right in front of you.
Right in front.
Didn't Aderyn do
Aderyn did it before it moved to attack Togrim.
I would like to disengage, because I do not think that I can fight the giant iron molten thing from this range.
Okay.
So I will be running off to the side or behind something.
Dodge, duck, diving where you find some cover kind of thing. Roll me a stealth check. But Aderyn, you're up.
8.
8. It may be distracted enough by Ximori.
Yeah, I figured that wasn't good.
Aderyn, you're up.
Aderyn, take as many steps back as she can from these blobs, and she's gonna glare at the one that Balrick is engaging with, like seriously, and that casts Mind Sliver.
Oh, is that an intelligence?
Yes, that's an intelligence.
They rolled a 15 on the die for a total of 12.
He gives the mean girl stare.
Yeah.
Get in, losers!
Okay. In case it's gonna take.
Stop trying to make hot metal happen.
You could say that Aderyn's got a steely gaze.
Stop with the oh my God.
You're not getting anything
gone
for
now.
That one takes 4 psychic damage, and it's got -1 to its next saving throw.
Cool. These things are starting to get worn down. Tauri, you're up.
Again, another vicious mockery.
Natural 2.
Your genre is derivative.
There you go, that's what I said.
Oh,
Sorry,
you
that's
fuck.
not- no.
Because it has to
It
have
takes-
luck in it to be magic for Tauri.
Sorry, I'm stealing everything.
How much damage?
I've seen fucking glow sticks that are brighter than you, and it's a 2 for damage.
2. It doesn't respond nicely to that, and it's going to attack Ximori with disadvantage and a -1. Misses.
No.
And then the other one is going to attack Balrick, which will hit Balrick for 7 bludgeoning damage and 7 fire damage.
Not consent.
Well, I'm afraid.
You're afraid, are you?
Yeah, 7 bludgeoning, 7 fire to Balrick. And it's Ximori's turn.
The suit that I've got, how wide is the opening and how big is the creature?
Creature is currently medium, and it would fit a medium creature.
Okay, I'd like to basically try and force it down on it.
We're going to make this a grapple.
I get advantage on grapples.
You have to beat a 19.
I rolled a 19, so it's a 22.
Roll me, I don't know, 4d10.
You only got a 3 on athletics.
Yeah. I'm not proficient in athletics.
Balrick is more athletic.
22.
20. Or 3d10. Jeez.
You said 4d10.
I did say
You did
4.
say 4d10.
That is fair. It's about average. But yeah, you wrap this thing up and just start smothering it. You're essentially packing fire out. And with that in between you take no fire damage from that as well. This thing is now considerably smaller and weedier as you are rapidly cooling the metal from the inside. Yeah.
Punching the suit fuck
Go
it.
for it. Make me your bonus action attack if you want one.
I don't get a bonus action attack, it's just flavour.
Fair enough. Balrick,
I ain't got much else. Just slash,
go for it.
cut. 18 plus stuff.
Hits.
Oh, they're good rolls. That's 14 slashing.
Yep.
Presumably halved. And 2 cold.
Goes up to 4, but its AC goes up.
Again, so just keep stacking.
It does, but it is starting to look fairly worse where you do take 8 points of fire damage from hitting it with an attack. As
You didn't do that last time.
It's getting harder.
I forgot, so be happy. Unless you want me to roll another d10.
No, I'm saying, I'm not arguing with it now, I'm just being just so you're aware, you forgot last time.
No, it's fine. We'll say the deck cold that time protected you, but didn't this time. As you take, as the heat splashes up on you, as you cut off one of its arms, and the heat, the metal scalds you.
Yep, you're right, Lesley, that is hot.
Now is Joanna's turn. That time she'll hit the thing you're fighting. 7, 15, 21, 42. There is a beam of ice that cracks into this thing, and it suddenly freezes in place mid-swing towards your face, Balrick. And there's about 3 inches of a fist away from your face that is now rapidly cooling metal. 1 down.
I was going to say something very rude to Lesley then.
Speaking of which, Leslie's turn. Leslie's just going to turn around and start looking for other ones. Togrim, your turn.
I guess if the other one's still up, I'll try and shoot from cover.
Cool. Don't miss.
I'm going to re-roll a 2 with my inspiration. For 18 plus...
That'll hit. Ximori, you're grabbing this and you suddenly hear a... Roll me the damage.
11.
11. That is more than enough, especially, and your weapon is magical as well. As this bolt just comes whistling past your ears, Ximori, decks into this thing's head, and then suddenly it stops moving, and just it pulls out essentially, rather than having animate form. As molten liquid kind of seeps into the feet of this body suit that you're holding onto.
Lead boots.
Can I try and arrange the suit so that I've got a pair of metal boot shapes?
If you stick your feet in there now and take some fire damage, you can do it.
No, I mean solid metal boot shapes.
Oh, as in just solid
Just
metal.
a boot. How much of a person can I cast with this?
Yeah, you can get a pair of boots essentially.
I was going to say,
That'll do.
do we have anyone who can carry this? Because we could take it back upstairs. Might be worth something.
It doesn't look that heavy. Ximori and Balrick being able to lift pretty much a ton a bit between them.
It's
Anyone
dense.
got a bag?
It is like solid steel. But yes, you could also both lift quite a lot. So
If anyone has a bag,
my
shall we put
tentacle?
it in?
I don't know what's happened to my tentacle all this time. I might have lost the tentacle.
Roll me a d20.
Alright. What?
That's a 3.
Yeah,
That tentacle got
tentacle
burned.
burned up. Sorry.
What on earth was that? What has happened to the metal in this place for it to come alive?
I don't know. It's weird behaviour.
Still hot, though.
Sentience doesn't just happen. There has to be some reason for it. Which implies there's a reason. Which implies whatever
think
happened
it's-
here isn't good.
You think it's when stuff gets hot, it gets, like, smart.
No, otherwise
Leslie
fire
was
was-
like, yeah, obviously.
No, it's the opposite effect.
Well, no, because
Leslie
the
thinks-
fire got smart when it was hot.
Does that mean that people
Fire's
from
not
hot
usually
places are just
like that.
smarter?
Do
I
we
feel like we're
know?
having different conversations. I'm trying to have a complex scientific debate over here.
I'll be honest, I don't think we're going to find the answer just standing around here. So,
Do we know about Togrim's bag of holding?
you have seen him pull out 1,000 pieces of metal to build a metal wolf out of a
Oh.
bag.
We've seen him got a full metal
I'm gonna
wolf in
just
that
kind of-
bag.
I'm just gonna go. Could we put these in your bag
What's
and
these?
like point at all the armor bits?
What armor bits?
What, just the metal?
These things were liquid metal elementals.
Oh, sorry. I thought they had armor on the outside. I
No,
misunderstood
where
what
the
you
cold
said
where the
earlier
cold
on.
damage was hitting was turning it into solid metal.
Ah, right. I misunderstood what you said. Cool. Ignore me then. Is there anything else in this room other than where they came from?
I've basically now given myself a flail.
Not really. As I say, there's doors out of it, but it is this pit. Roll me an investigation check.
Steel boot lollipops.
I mean, it's basically a
it is.
flail in its suit. I could just kind of...
It's only a 7.
I'll give you 5. Yeah, I mean, this room seems dedicated to these vats for whatever purpose. That's what you've got.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. And I'll pick the third door.
Certainly. Do you want to lead?
I'll let one of the bigger two.
On we
I
go.
am not feeling good.
And you head over to that door where there is another panel, and you see Joanna just kind of. You can see like she uses the astral compass again, but it is like constantly sparking and fritzing. She's like, "Gotta get better at building these things." Well, this should work, and there's a sudden like surge of arcane and electrical power. You see the panel, and then the door open, leading to another dark corridor. Onwards.
Pass Ximori 2 potions of healing.
Thanks, Togrim. I down them both.
And as you drink those potions and head into another unlit corridor, I think there is a decent place for us to stop as you continue progressing through the refinery dungeon, trying to find out just why inanimate objects seem to have gained a level of sentience. We will zoom out as the battered party progress onwards and pick up this story next time. Until then, see you later.